Ladies and gentlemen, I've always opined on this platform that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. And that everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Nothing in politics just happens for the sake of it. Earlier today, Musalia Mudavadi team released some statement. In that statement, they informed the country that Musalia Mudavadi was actually traveling to Nigeria to represent the President William Samoei Arap Ruto in some high-profile event. And then Kenyans started asking themselves, why William Ruto prefers sending Musalia Mudavadi to such kind of high-profile events and not his deputy, Rigathi Gachagua? Because constitutionally, the person who ought to represent William Samoei Arap Ruto in those events is none other than Rigathi Gachagua. But William Ruto is always free and easily sending Rigathi Gachagua to some small events in Nyeri, small events in Tarakanidi, small events where Uhuru Kenyatta is actually abused. Let me read for you the statement which Musalia Mudavadi team issued. This is what they issued. Office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, press release on Sunday 28th, 2023, Nairobi. Prime Cabinet Secretary, His Excellency Musalia Mudavadi's official visit to Abuja, Nigeria. It says, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, His Excellency Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, will leave the country today, Sunday, May 28th, 2023, for Abuja, Nigeria. He will represent the President of Kenya, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, at the inauguration ceremony of His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Nigeria's incoming president, on Monday, May 29th, 2023. His Excellency Bola Tinubu will take the presidential oath. His Excellency Bola Tinubu will take the presidential oath of office to lead the Federal Republic of Nigeria for a 4-year term. This ceremony will mark the 7th consecutive transition of power in Nigeria and makes His Excellency Bola Tinubu the 16th president of the country. Kenya and Nigeria shares strong ties across many sectors such as agriculture, technology, renewable energy, and the service industry. On behalf of the people of Kenya, President William Ruto congratulates Nigeria and its new president and wish them the very best. The Kenyan government pledges to collaborate closely with the incoming administration for a successful and peaceful tenure. Salim Swale, Director, Press Service. Now, that statement by Musalia Mudavadi's team might appear to be an innocent statement, but it has deep meaning. So in this video, I want us to look at why William Ruto actually prefers Musalia Mudavadi for these kind of international events and not his deputy, who by law should be the one representing him. For those who've been following the politics of this country, Rigathi Gachagua has also been attending some of these international events. But the one he's attending are low-key. The other day, you saw Rigathi Gachagua attending some youth event in Burundi. Was it in Rwanda? The other day, I think it was in Botswana, alongside the Sauti Sol. But high-profile events, where head of states, where policy decisions are made, are preserved for none other than Musalia Mudavadi. Before we do all those, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. Let us dive into the reasons. Number one, for me, if you ask me, international embarrassment. That is what William Ruto is avoiding. There's one memory which will never get off Kenya's mind. The day William Ruto was being sworn in as the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya. Heads of states were present. Then Rigathi Gachagua took the mic. Rigathi Gachagua forgot that he was now addressing international community. He forgot that he was now addressing head of state. He thought he was still addressing the locals in Nyeri, or maybe the locals in Nyandarua, the locals they used to play about with. That is what Ruto is avoiding, that kind of embarrassing situation where his deputy would be in Nigeria with the several heads of state and would make pronouncements which are not befitting of any government. So for me, Ruto prefers Musalia Mudavadi over Rigathi Gachagua for these international trips because of embarrassment. If you compare if you compare Musalia Mudavadi and Rigathi Gachagua, how do you think they would compare at the international level? Let's say you give Mudavadi mic here, you give Rigathi Gachagua the mic here. So that's number one. Number two, international networks. And for me, if that's the intention, then I think William Ruto is repeating the same mistakes which Uhuru Kenyatta committed with him. There's this curtain which is really giving me hell here. Let me just put it well. Just a minute. Sorry. So I was saying, that if that's the case, then personally, I think William Ruto is committing the same mistakes which Uhuru Kenyatta committed against him. As a deputy president, Uhuru Kenyatta ensured that William Ruto never attended any serious international event. He would send someone else. And in cases where William Ruto even made those attempts to go, we saw William Ruto being brought back into the country, being forced back into the country, where he was supposed to address, after addressing the Chatham House event. Uhuru then found a way of living. So for me, Ruto is avoiding a situation where he's going to allow Rigathi Gachagua to have direct contact with fellow heads of states, to have networks with business leaders. Otherwise, there is no reason for whatsoever why Mudavadi would be the one being sent to these particular events. So I think Ruto is avoiding a situation where Rigathi Gachagua is going to be exposed to some international networks. I used to say, and I still believe, that there is no way you can become the president of the Republic of Kenya without the support of the international community. For example, Raila Odinga enjoys the support of the international community, but the superpowers were against him. William Ruto really didn't have that international network, but because the international community felt that they would be safe with Ruto, having known his characters, his weaknesses, so they decided to ensure that he becomes the president. Yeah. So right now, Ruto is trying to create that international networks, but with a lot of mistakes here and there, but he's creating it. But he's not allowing Rigathi Gachagua to also create those international networks. He's allowing Musalia Mudavadi to have those international networks. I can assure you, the moment Musalia Mudavadi will arrive in Nigeria, hopefully he has arrived, the moment he will come back into the country, he shall have made new friends, or a few business leaders must have contacted him about Kenya. And that's how people create these international networks. Number three, I also tend to think that Ruto really doesn't trust Rigathi Gachagua with critical assignments. There is no major critical assignment than where the president himself is supposed to go, then you ask someone else to represent you. And that's why Rigathi Gachagua is just being assigned these small events. Go to Nyeri, go to Kisii, go to Mombasa and deal with Uhuru. Yeah, but now when it comes to critical assignments, someone else has to be found. And for me, that's also very critical. And number four, I also tend to think that William Ruto is actually showing Kenyans his preferred successor. He's telling Kenyans that for me, this is my guy. In fact, there is no way Ruto would be in Busia, then allowing Musalia Mudavadi to be out of the country if he didn't want to send a message. The message he was sending to the Luhya nation, that one, look here, I'm here, I've sent your son to go to represent me in Nigeria. Otherwise, if that was not the case, Musalia Mudavadi would be with him right there. So definitely, the message out there is that Ruto prefers Musalia Mudavadi to Rigathi Gachagua. And lastly, it also, this particular scenario also exposes Rigathi Gachagua's role in Ruto's camp. What is Rigathi's role in Ruto's camp? Is it policy? It is spoiler? What is his role? Your guess is as good as mine. He has a specific role, and that role is to play the spoiler role, so that William Ruto can appear to be good on paper, Rigathi Gachagua appears to be bad, but things are moving. Yeah, so if for example, Ruto were going to some place, let's say in Western Kenya or even Rift Valley, Rigathi Gachagua would be there telling people how Uhuru, blah, 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 you know, those kind of activities. But when it comes to critical roles, then those roles are preserved for other individuals. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day. If you have anything you want to tell me about this video, please drop your comments. Any other issue you feel I've left out, please let me read in the comment section. I'm going to take a few minutes just to go through some of these comments. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye bye for now.